Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and selamat sejahtera. Okay, so we are now going to proceed to the last chapter in OBN 345, which is chapter 8 for the topic of appraising performance of office employees. Okay, previously you have learned about what we call the recruiting, so you need to know what are the internal and also the external sources for you to recruit the new employees. And then as AOM, Administrative Office Manager, you need to know that when you hire a new employees or your current workers, you need to give them a training, okay, or orientation, so that the new employee or the current employee familiar with the system or the nature of your organization. So what happened when the new employees or the current employees have worked with your organization at least for 1 year or more, so you need to do the appraising performance. Okay, so what is actually appraising performance, or you can familiar with the word performance appraisal. Okay, so performance appraisal is actually you give a rate to your employees according to their job performance, maybe in the end of the year or maybe quarterly. Okay, it depends to that organization. Okay, so now let's proceed. What we are going to learn for this topic is the uses of performance appraisal itself, and then number 2 we need to know is the appraisers of the performance. Next is promoting office workers. Number 4 is types of promotion, and the next one is the factors of employee promotion, and lastly is bias-free, non-discriminatory promotion practices. Okay, actually we have covered about the performance appraisal in general. Okay, so let's proceed to the next one. So in the end of this chapter, you need to describe the methods and procedures for appraising and promoting office employee. Okay, so actually chapter 8 is the what we call the shortest one compared to other chapter. Okay, so let's go to the first part, the uses of performance appraisal. So for this one, you need to know what are the uses of performance appraisal. So there are 7. Again, I repeat, there are 7 uses of performance appraisal. So I'm going to discuss with you one by one about this one. Okay, the first one, help identify subordinate strengths and weaknesses. Okay, so when you have the performance appraisal, in other words, you also have a form for you in order for to help you to evaluate your employees. Okay, so according to the form or the what we call the criteria of appraisal, you can know your subordinate strength and weaknesses. Okay, for example, your workers, a few of your workers are very good in what we call delivering their work. Okay, very fast learner. Okay, and a few of your workers are very what we call slow learners, late to submit their work. Okay, so this performance appraisal help you as AOM especially, or help you as a manager to identify your employees' strengths and weaknesses. Okay, so next, number 2, to provide input for making decision about salary increases, promotions and employee transfer. Okay, so this is related what we have discussed previously. When you know what is your what we call your employee weaknesses and strength, this will help you to make a decision whether you want to give him or her a salary increase. Why? Because he or she performed very good that year or very good for 3 years. Okay, or you want to promote your new employees when he or she very excellent performance, give excellent performance. You want to promote he or she to the higher level job, or maybe you want to transfer your employee because maybe he or she do not perform and you want to transfer that person to another branch or Maybe you want to transfer the person because he or she is being promoted as a new manager, so you transfer to another branch. Okay, so this is an example of the what we call the uses of performance appraisal. Okay, number 3, provide input in workforce planning. Okay, when you have this performance appraisal, you identify what are the strengths and weaknesses of your employee, and then this will help you to give decision about the salary increase, promotion and employee transfer. So based on the 2 points above, you can make your workforce planning. So you need a new employee. What kind of new employee do you want? Okay, because previously maybe you lack of employee who are good in accountancy, so this will help you in workforce planning. You need to hire a new employee, especially in accountancy. Okay, number 4, help strengthen communication between supervisors and subordinate. Okay, when you have this type of performance appraisal, usually the supervisor will call the subordinate and then to ask whether the subordinate satisfied with the marks given by you as a manager or as AOM. Okay, so this will help you what we call a two-way communication, whether he or she satisfied or if he or she doesn't satisfied. Yes, this will help you to strengthen your communication. Okay, and then improve the quality. Yes, this is related what we have discussed previously. Improve the quality of communication between supervisors and subordinate, because previously when you do the performance appraisal, you do not aware whether your subordinate whether satisfied or not. Okay, if he or she does not satisfy, he or she will come up with their own what we call defend. Okay, why he or she is supposed to get higher marks. Okay, and then improve quality of supervision. Okay, when you know your subordinate strength and weaknesses, actually it will help you as a supervisor to improve your what we call your character as a supervisor. Okay, to help maybe for example your employee is a slow learner, so how you are going to improve your quality of supervision? Maybe give another training for that employee, okay, to help him to become a faster learner. Okay, and then the performance appraisal also have a positive impact on career growth and development of employee. Okay, when you have the performance appraisal, so this will help you as an employee or employee to have your own target. So what you are going to reach in the end of the year, what you are going, okay, for example, if you are working as a marketing sale, in the quarter of the year you want to reach the sale of around 100k, okay, for example. Okay, so this is the positive the uses of performance appraisal. You have a target, you have a goal, what you are going to achieve for your performance appraisal. Okay, but in other words, we call it in Malay as KPI. Okay, we need to know what our KPI we need to achieve to target. Okay, so this one is based on the Quibble page 235 and through 236. So next one, what you need to know is the characteristic of performance appraisal. Okay, for this one you just need to know what are the characteristics of performance appraisal program. So there are 8. Okay, the first one is must elicit a change in employee behavior. Okay, number 2, must provide a basis for making compensation decision. Number 3, must provide information for making decision about promotion, transfer and termination. And then number 4, make sure your performance appraisal program must enhance employee motivation. Number 5, you need to provide feedback for use in validating various phases of personnel program. Number 6, must facilitate supervisor-subordinate communication. Okay, this is what one of the uses of performance appraisal. And then must use appropriate evaluation based in relation to intended use of appraisal result. Okay, when you are going to use the performance appraisal, make sure the criteria, the what we call the items is related to your job nature. And lastly, you must use clearly stated, objective and well understood performance standard. Okay, For this one, I'm going to share with you what we call the example of performance appraisal. Okay. Okay. Okay, so this is the first example. Okay. For performance appraisal, okay, I do believe you are taking your event management this semester. Okay, and then one of the criteria, you need to evaluate your program manager, and you also can evaluate your peer. Okay, and so this is what we call a performance appraisal, but this one is performance appraisal based on the event. So the same thing goes for this one. Okay, so this is what we call the performance example of a performance appraisal, but this one is employee self-evaluation. Okay, some of the company, they suggest you to give or to rate you yourself, and then it based on your supervisor or your manager whether your rate for yourself is acceptable or not. Okay, so this is the first one. Okay, you can see this one, current responsibility, what are the performance goal, what is your core values. Okay, this is employee self-evaluation. Okay, next one, I'm going to share you to the second one. Okay, so this is a hourly performance review. Okay, this one is maybe based on the what we call marketing. It's more to the marketing. Okay, for example, you are working based on the sales. Okay, if maybe you are working in a large mall, and then it is based on your marketing. If you manage to get a sale, so you will get the commission. Okay, so this one is a hourly performance review. This is another example. Next example. Okay, so this is another example of employee performance review. You need to fill up your information here, but these are the criteria or the items required for you, what we call to rate you whether unsatisfactory, satisfactory, good or excellent. Okay, so maybe your supervisor or manager will rate this one. Okay, another example is employee performance appraisal. Okay, this one you have 4 main criteria, which is the quality, productivity, job knowledge and reliability. And the rate, the scale of your rate, you have 5: exceptional, superior, satisfactory, improvement needed, and unsatisfactory. Okay, again, the performance appraisal actually depends to it, it depends to the organization. Okay, especially the criteria rated must related to your job nature. Okay, so that's it for this one. I'm going to go back to my slide. Okay, so this is our part 1. Okay, next one, we are going to proceed to the second part, which is the appraisers of performance. Okay, so for this one, we're referring to the Cribble page 250. Okay, so the appraisers of performance. You need to know there are 5. Again, you need to know there are 5 appraisers. The one who are going to appraise you, okay, to give you marks, to rate you. So the first one is your immediate supervisor, self-rating. Okay, we have previously see the form of self-rating. You evaluate you yourself. Rating committees. Okay, I do believe you are currently doing the rating committees right now, especially you are handling the event. Peer ratings, yes, you also have this one, and also 360-degree feedback. Okay, you have 5. We're going to proceed one by one. The first one, immediate supervisor. So this one is generally the individuals most familiar with their subordinates' performance. Okay, for example, you have your supervisor. According to your what we call organization chart or chain of command, your upper supervisor is the one who what we call immediate supervisor, not the another level or another 2 level. According to the chain of command. Okay, because this person, your immediate supervisor, is the one who are familiar with you. Okay, number 2 is self-rating. Again, we have seen that form, you need to evaluate yourself. Okay, So individual being appraised completes the same appraisal. Again, this is the same appraisal with your supervisor. Discussion about similarity and differences. Okay, so if there's a lot of differences between your self-evaluation compared to your supervisor evaluation, maybe your manager or supervisor will call you back. Okay, and then you need to define your self-rating. Next is rating committees. So for this one, in some case, the members of the committee will collaborate in completing one appraisal form for each employee. So in other cases, the members of the rating committees complete the forms independently. Okay. So this one is rating committees. A group of people, committees will rate you. Okay, and then peer ratings. Your friend, your what we call your co-workers is the one going to give you the rate. Okay, performance feedback is solicited from the peers of the individual being appraised. Okay. For example, you are working in marketing department, so the peer rating is the people who work in that department, not from another department, because you are going to have a different nature of work. Okay, and lastly is 360-degree feedback. Okay, for this one, information is solicited from virtually all others with whom the employee comes in and contact. Okay, you have from immediate, you have your self-rating, rating committees, and peer ratings. This is what we call 360 degree. You have everything. Okay, so that's it for our video part 1, chapter 8 part 1. Okay, we are going to continue after this another 2 video. Okay, thank you.